All right, let's do a quick quiz here. Do you mind?
Yeah, fire away.
I want to run you through some shit, okay? Some real life shit. I'm in a car with all my family. If I got 4 people in the car, it goes off a bridge into the water. What do I do first?
First thing, I would assess everyone, make sure that they're still alive. There's dead and then there's trauma dead. You know what I mean? Like, you need to orient yourself and understand like who you can save. Maybe there's people that you have to leave behind, right? And that's a sad reality of car accidents. So I would assess everyone, make sure that everyone's capable. I would get everyone working towards the common goal of getting the hell out of that car. And you have to run triage. You got to know who you can help and how you can get those people to help you, helping the other ones that need the most help.
God damn, that's a brutal decision, dude. I got a newborn and shit. That's sobering.
Wait for that to happen. Start running those things now. And even though it's a terrible thing to think,
yeah,
if you run it mentally, you won't have to run through the emotional turmoil of everything that's happening when it actually does. Run through it so you can prepare yourself ahead of time.
No, you're absolutely right. All right, next one, tornado.
Wait, before we move on to that, just one thing you can do in your car is have a fucking seatbelt cutter and glass breaker, right? That's a really simple thing you can have, right? I have one on both sides of my car, on the front.
No shit.
Driver, yeah. It's just a little device. You can rip your seatbelt off. Those things get locked in sometimes when there's trauma
who
to
makes
the car.
that?
There's a million.
Rescue Me.
Yeah,
Rescue Me, okay.
There's a million companies that make them, but yeah, you can. I think EuroOptics.com is one of our sponsors, has some for sale.
Oh, no shit.
Different ones, yeah. But the other side, there's a pointed edge made out of material that busts through glass. That's another problem. Like, especially when you're underwater, the pressure's coming in. You can't fucking get the windows down or the doors open. You can pop that glass out and get out that way. That's a really simple thing that all of you can do right now. Just go buy one of those on the internet, put it in your car.
And they've got those on EuroOptics.com?
Yeah, if they don't, then go to fucking Rescue Me directly. But I'm pretty sure they have Rescue Me shit on there.
For sure. All right, next up, tornado. What do we do?
Number one, where are you? If you're in a tornado, find structure, right? You gotta take care of protection first. That structure can be found in a lot of different places, right? Underneath bridges, it can be found in basements of the houses. If you're in an area that is a high tornado area, they're going to have shelters. I would definitely recommend rolling around every single day with some basics on you, like a flashlight, a tourniquet, because that tornado is going to hit. You're not stopping Mother Nature, right? There is no such thing as, man versus wild. Mm-hmm. Mother Nature's a bitch, right? Mother Nature's going to do whatever she wants to. So find shelter, but then immediately be ready after that to render aid to other people and take care of your own.
Okay. Hurricane.
All right. So hurricane, it's not that the wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing. Same thing. Find structure. But then be prepared for prolonged outages. Be prepared for substantial cleanup, including flooding. Hurricanes are nasty business. And, the good thing is they don't last forever. Right. So if you're planning on like running for the hills indefinitely, realize that storm is going to come and go and you can go back home eventually. So same thing, protocol as the tornado. Find security, find safety, and then render aid afterwards.
Yeah. By the way, I'm asking you all this because I've actually been in a few of these situations. I've been in a couple tornadoes. One actually happened at a school as a child, and then fucking hurricanes, a million of those. You're right. People don't think enough about how long the outages are for electricity and all that other shit. Dan and I lived in Wilmington, North Carolina, and we went through our fair share down there, obviously. And dude, sometimes it was like 3 days without power. For other people, it was weeks. You're right. You should have a generator and all that shit prepared, but nobody really ever does.
No, and what's really sad is like after that storm, people will prepare for it during hurricane season, and then they'll sell a lot of their prep afterwards. Like, oh, I don't need that generator. And you can find great deals on generators after storm season. And the next thing you know, next storm season, they'll buy a new one, as opposed to just maintaining it in the off season. Like, preparedness isn't a hobby. It should never be a hobby. It should become a lifestyle. And you should start running the questions like, what is possible? What is probable? And, is it possible the power goes out? Yep. Is it probable it'll last for weeks and weeks on end? Not likely. We're pretty good with our power grid, but people don't do that. They don't think. And that's another problem in this country, which that's a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
Sure.
Asking what if is a good thing. And it's, if you go to any of his or Mike's like in-person presentations or read any of the materials, almost always the first thing that's talked about is just situational awareness in general, right? Like asking, what if this happens? Like he's talking about getting your fucking kids out of the car. Have you ever even thought about how you would do it? Like the physical shit you would do to accomplish that. Have you ever even considered that?
Me, yes, I have. But some of the tools you mentioned earlier, I didn't know were available. Like I've never heard of a seatbelt cutter before.
It's just like a recessed blade up inside of a loop, so you can just it hooks right on, and you just slide it down. I mean, It's super easy.
You've got an Amber Alert on your phone, I think, Kevin. Is everything okay? Is your 3-year-old okay?
Dude, I'll tell you something. Ever since I started working for Fieldcraft, I get blown up left and right by my buddies, by random strangers. I made the mistake years ago of putting my phone number on the podcast that I first did with Mike, and I get random people that are like, "Hey, man, can I ask you a question?" And I'm like, "I don't know who you are." So I've been getting messages from buddies about, "Hey, I need to carry my holster a different way. Do you have solutions?" I just got another one asking about, my parents back home. So like, it is what it is. Like I field a lot of questions. So yeah, everything's cool here. Just I should have turned off the volume.
No, it's fine. I was just it's an audio show. I'm just letting the people know that you're okay, your family's okay, and that you're not going to run out into the streets and go and murk somebody. We'll go to the next one. What about an earthquake?
All right. So I've been in an earthquake, a volcanic earthquake. There is nothing more frightening in my entire life. I was in Costa Rica with my dad in '97, and when you feel like you can't escape the shaking, right? And you feel the biggest thing that you've ever known, right? The earth is moving and you're not stopping it. It's terrifying. So there's talk of like, if you're in an earthquake, find a door jamb. Good knowledge. They say if you are in like an office building, find a desk. Something that I always talk about, and I've confirmed this with a bunch of search and rescue buddies, is if you're in a hotel, right? If you're traveling, let's say you go to California, for whatever reason, I don't know, you get possessed, you get this idea that you want to go to California, hang out with all the homeless people and the weirdo celebrities. They say that if you are in a hotel room with 2 beds, instead of hiding under the bed, you actually should hide in between the 2 beds, because if that ceiling collapses, the 2 beds will provide enough structure and give you enough standoff from the ceiling where it'll give you room to survive. So with the earthquake, stay away from glass, stay away from things that can fall on you. Yeah. Exactly. Stay away from that stuff. But have that situational awareness, right? Like in Utah, we're waiting for another big earthquake here. And I would be lying if I said I didn't have a plan. Like if it started right now, where would I go? I know I want to get out into the open as fast as possible and away from power lines. Yeah. So even where I live, I've got a plan. Like if that happens, I'm going there. And I always have a contingency. Like if I am somewhere and that happens, like how am I going to get back to my car? How am I going to, navigate here and there? But earthquake, just be aware of not just the ground shaking. The ground's not going to kill you. It's going to be what's going to get destabilized, and it's going to topple on you. So just be aware of your surroundings.
What about a tsunami? That's one of the most ruthless things I've ever seen.
I mean, if you've got a fucking 30-foot tidal wave coming at you, just die.
Well, I want to know. There's people that lived. Do you remember? Was it Fuck It or Phuket? I think I'm. I believe it's pronounced.
There was that Ewan McGregor movie about the tsunami. Remember that? So
that was it.
That tsunami happened.
Sorry, also starring Spider-Man.
Which one? Tom Holland?
Yeah, Andrew Garfield?
Yeah. No.
Tobey Maguire?
Tom.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah, the boy.
So basically what happened was thousands of fucking brown people get murdered by the fucking ocean. And then we make a movie about how Ewan McGregor's white family survived.
Yeah.
Rich white family.
God,
they were rich, dude.
Yeah, they were on holiday because it was during like the Christmas break or
Doesn't
something.
Doesn't that seem a little weird?
We'll ask Kevin. Kevin, if you're rich, does that give you a better shot at survival during a tsunami?
Oh hell yeah! Because you're probably loaded out with like a personal locator beacon that you got in your bag. You probably have travel insurance, survival insurance, which is an actual thing where if you need it, like your rescue is paid for. So there's no doubt about it. Like if you have money, you'll find a way. And with enough cash, you can get whatever resource or assets you need on your side. People in that tsunami would probably kill for clean bandages. And if you had clean bandages and someone had enough money, I have a funny feeling, you'd be a wealthy person. Now, I've never had experience in a tsunami. I've been through an earthquake. I've been in places with tornado danger. I've been through hurricanes and all that stuff. But I can't speak on terms of like a tsunami, but I can speak from my experience as a whitewater kayaker. If you're getting washed away, the worst thing that you can do is try to do like a forward crawling stroke with your head in front of you. You want to get on your back and you want your feet in front of you to act as like shock absorbers if you are getting pushed into things. But realize the screwy thing with that movie, like the real fucked up part, is they show you what's floating in the water. Everyone thinks, oh, I'll just swim through the water. Well, there's barbed wire and there's metal and there's glass and all this stuff is rushing by you, cutting you. And now you got to survive the disease. So it's not so much the water that will kill you. It's the after effects of when that water recedes. And then you got to deal with bacteria and all sorts of nasty